Welcome to Los Alamitos High School Gymnasium. This is the LATV Game of the Week. Tonight, it's the Marina Vikings versus the Los Alamitos Griffins, and it's senior night. Hi, everybody. I'm Larry Strother. I'm here with Dan O'Connor. We're going to bring you the last Griffin home game of the year. And Dan, the Griffins go into the game. Win tonight, they can clinch a tie for the Sunset League title.
Well, so much at stake tonight. Luckily, they have an opponent that they should be able to handle with fair amount of ease. Big nights tonight. First of all, senior night, and it's nice to give a little extra playing time when you can afford to some of the seniors who don't get as much time during the regular season. And it's also important to seal this up. I mean, bottom line is Russ is going to do what he needs to do to seal this tie of the Sunset League Championship tonight. So it's going to be interesting to watch how the Griffins play and make sure they keep the level up.
Hopefully, I'm sure Coach May is hoping that the result will be the same as the first time these two teams met when Los Al came away with an 84-40 win, 44-point victory. The seniors got a lot of playing time in that game. But Marina doesn't come into the game, without some talent. They have a player, Sean Starkey, 6'5" senior forward. He's the leading scorer in the Sunset League, just a few points ahead of Landry Fields overall, just fractions of a point in the average. They're both at 19 points a game. And Starkey's also leading the league in blocks. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a stark contrast to the Griffins. One of the strengths that we've seen with the Griffins all season long, especially in league play, has been their strength off the bench. When you bring in a Ryan Pettis, when you bring in a lot of different players who can contribute the whole time, who can contribute off and on, coming in at any time during the game. Marina, their greatest problem is lack of depth. So, I mean, the Griffins look forward to taking care of that and having the kind of depth that can, no matter who's on the floor, they're going to do well.
Big win for Los Alamitos on Friday night when they posted a 71-57 win over Edison, avenging their earlier 70-69 overtime loss. So in the season, the Griffins and the Chargers split it. Like the win right now, though, clinches a tie for Los Al, who has a 7-1 record in league play. Edison is at 6-2. They had a loss to Esperanza in the very first round. Good games in that one. From good balance. Landry Fields had 20 points, as is to be expected. But Corbin Moore, sophomore forward, 13 points, five rebounds that I can remember right offhand. I don't have the stats right in front of me. But he looked really well, and Amberry, of course, hits that inside pass. For a big man, he's a very good passing.
Yeah. Well, some of the keys for tonight's game is that we know that Los Alamitos has a scoring machine. They're able, as they did last time these two teams met, they're able to put a lot of points on the board. Now, they're likely to be playing slightly different personnel tonight, with Russ giving some extra time to some of the seniors. So the scoring may not be as high. So what we need for a key to the game for the Griffins is solid defense. No matter who's on the floor, we need solid defense, play on your man, play zone if we move into the zone, and basically run Marina right off the floor. Regardless of who's on the floor, I'd like to see an up-tempo game in the first half for the Griffins to just basically settle this early and then give the seniors some time to play.
Well, that's Coach May's trademark style. He insists on defense from all his players, and he usually gets it from the seniors, Kyle Poe, Renzo Maggi, whoever he brings in off the floor. He got great play from a junior who stepped into the starting role against Marina the very first time they played this year, Cameron Jones, who had an excellent game against Edison the other day. So in addition to the work from the seniors, I think he wants to get it also from the juniors and the sophomore more as well.
Well, one of the things that is always a worry at this time in the season, we know that the Griffins are going to be playing in what sometimes is referred to as the third season. You have your preseason, you have your league play, and then the third season of the year is the playoffs. And you want to have your team sharp for the playoffs. So you want to give your starters a certain amount of time. You want to give your regular starters a certain amount of time. You want to maintain that high team chemistry. The Griffins have won, I believe, 4 or 5 in a row now. You want to maintain that kind of team chemistry that's produced those victories. And you want to also tonight try to give some players some time on the floor.
Los Al with a 19-4 record. They are currently ranked number 2 in the CIF. It's not actually a CIF poll. It's the coaches Division I poll. CIF doesn't conduct any polls until they actually do the playoff ratings, which will be announced this coming Sunday. And so Los Al's in a good position. Wins here, keeps that number 2 seed. So ensures a couple softer opponents in the first couple games. But anyway, we're getting ready. It looks like Scott Durzo, the courtside announcer.
Scott just gave me the 1-minute sign.
The 1 minute. Oh, man, we got to talk for a whole minute in this weather. I was getting ready to get in the air conditioning. It is hot today.
Yeah.
Hot and tough air to breathe. All the fires outside.
Smoke gets in your eyes.
There you go. Just hope we don't break into that. This game is not that bad that we're going to break into it.
We need to jazz things up around here, Larry.
So you see the signs there. We got it for Ryan Pettis, the senior who played football and basketball this year, always providing a spark off the bench. Charles Hinkle, the defensive specialist for the Griffins. You got Phil Cabrera, who unfortunately has been injured most of the season, hasn't had a chance to play. Mike Chance, the senior 6'8" or 6'9" center, got a lot of minutes this season after taking his turn on the bench for a few seasons while learning the game. So Landry Fields, of course. You got Kyle Poe, Renzo Maggi, Craig Fisk, Richie Merical, who won the title of king of the winter formal, the Snowball King, whatever it's called there the other night. So there's a little bit of trivia. Anyway, we're getting ready. Got Principal Dan Brooks here. There's Scott Durzo, the JV coach, celebrating his win earlier tonight, 37-25 victory, standing next to Coach Dan Brooks. And there's Russ May. They're asking us if we're ready, and gosh, we've been ready a long time. We've been stalling for you, Scott, so take it away.
We're ready to roll. Settled in and get ready for a special tradition at Los Al basketball. Well, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening, distinguished administrators, alumni, and our energetic and supportive student body. Tonight, we continue a long-standing and highly regarded Los Al basketball tradition, honoring our senior players and their families on their last home game of the regular season. Each senior player tonight has dedicated 1,000 of hours of practice time, has played in over 300 games, and has given a 100% commitment to our basketball program, all while maintaining excellent academic performance and participating in many other extracurricular activities. Our senior parents have also given the same level of commitment, time, volunteering, and support of the entire Griffin basketball program. Tonight we celebrate and honor 9 highly skilled and competitive seniors. Tonight we say thank you to our seniors and their families for their hard work, both off and on the court. Tonight we say thank you, seniors, for carrying on the Los Al basketball tradition of playing great championship basketball year after year after year. Seniors Philip, Mike, Craig, Landry, Charles, Renzo, Richard, Ryan, and Kyle, you have represented yourselves, your families, and our program in such a solid and positive way. Now it is our turn to do the same for you and your family. Let's begin. Our first senior, number 4, power forward, Philip Cabrera. Nicknamed Philly Cheese, Philip is escorted tonight by his grandmother Anita and father David. Philip is a first-year varsity player and boasts a 4.0 GPA. Philip has a steady and fearless competitive spirit, which earned him most inspirational and best defensive player of his junior year. Philip's favorite teacher is Mr. Coriati because of his humor, and his best subject is math. Philip will go to Long Beach State in the fall. Philip's best memory is his freshman basketball season and going on this past summer's Palm Springs trip. Power forward, Philip Cabrera. Our next senior, number 55, center, Michael Chance. Nicknamed Kurt, Mike is escorted tonight by his parents, Rob and Marie Chance. Mike is a third-year varsity player and is an inspiring member of our program. Mike's aggressive, above-the-rim, and energetic playing style has inspired both his teammates and fans. Mike enjoys math because he likes working with numbers, and his favorite teacher is the late, great Dr. Jim Cross because of the many life lessons he taught. Mike is looking forward to playing basketball at Santa Ana Junior College and hopes to one day own a successful business. Mike's best moment was his tip bang in the guard tournament and the entire Palm Springs summer trip. Mike wants to thank his parents, Coach May, his teammates, and his friends for all their supports. Go Big Mike. Center, Mike Chance. Our next senior, captain, number 12, the shooting guard, Landry Fields. Nicknamed the Big Smooth, Landry is escorted tonight by his parents, Steve and Janice Fields. Landry is a third-year varsity starter and boasts a 3.8 GPA. Coach May describes Landry as one of the Griffins' most explosive and exciting scorers. Landry was all Sunset League and all CIF in 2005. Landry will continue to play basketball at Stanford University and hopes to one day become a pro player, a teacher, and a coach. Landry's best memory was last Friday night beating Edison, the Palm Springs summer trip, especially watching the water balloon hit Coach May's truck. Landry thanks the Lord, his parents, Coach May, Coach A.C. Diaz, and all his teammates for his success. The captain, the shooting guard, Landry Fields. Our next senior, number 3, point guard, Craig Fisk. Craig is being escorted tonight by his mother, Anita, and his uncle, Kenneth Francis. Craig is a first-year varsity player and boasts a 3.5 GPA. Craig has the knack for the big play both on and off the court, as he is also on the principal's honor roll. Craig enjoys history, and his favorite teacher is Miss King because of her great inspiration and insight. Craig would like to thank his family and his friends for supporting him and attending all his games. Point guard, Craig Fisk. Our next senior, the captain, guard, and small forward, number 32, Charles Hinkle. Charles is escorted tonight by his parents, Terry and Carol Hinkle. Charles is a second-year varsity starter and boasts a 3.2 GPA, as well as being on the principal's honor roll for the past 4 years. Charles' favorite class is Advanced Math Trig and its teacher, Mr. Barker. Charles plans on attending a 4-year university and will continue to play basketball, earn a degree, and start a career in hopes on one day, get this, being a successful father. Charles' favorite memory was beating Edison last Friday night in his junior year, hitting the game-winning shot at Edison. Charles wants to thank his parents and family for being wonderful and his teammates for their support. As Captain Charles says, dreams don't win championships, practice does. The captain, guard, small forward, Charles Hinkle. Our next senior, number 15, shooting guard, Renzo Maggi. Nickname Magic Maggi, Renzo is being escorted tonight by his parents and Dr. Carlos Maggi. Renzo is a first-year varsity player and was named MVP his JV season, along with being on the principal's honor roll the past 3 years. Renzo is an excellent defender. Renzo will attend either Loyola or University of San Diego and will pursue tennis. Renzo plans for success by quoting, "Failure to prepare is preparing to fail. Renzo, you are a success." Renzo thanks his friends, family, and hopes to win a CIF title. Shooting guard, Renzo Maggi. Our next senior, number 1, point guard, Richard Merical. Nickname Juicy, Richard is escorted tonight by his parents, Ron and Doria Merical. Richard is a 2-year varsity team member. Richard is known for his quickness and excellent ball handling skills. Just weeks ago, Richard earned the coveted All-Tournament Team Award at the Wilson Tournament. Richard will continue to play basketball in college and hopes to one day become a teacher and a coach. Richard thanks his parents, Coach May, and Coach A.C. Diaz. Richard quotes, "Never regret. If it's good, great. If it's bad, it's experience. And the harder you work, the luckier you get." We're lucky to have you, Richard Merical. Point guard, Richard Merical. Our next senior, number 33, forward, Ryan Pettis. Nickname Luther Lufay, Ryan is escorted tonight by his parents, Bruce and Marianne Pettis Roussel. Ryan never gives up and is one of the most toughest Griffins on our team. Ryan is a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, is on the Principal's Honor Roll and is the Modern Literature Student of the Year. Who knew? Ryan enjoys AP Calculus with his favorite teacher, Mr. Barker. Ryan's most favorite memory is his freshman summer with Coach Rice and his AAU team, the West Coast Ballers. And as Ryan quotes DJ Quick, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Good luck on your business, Ryan. Ryan would like to thank his mom and dad, Coach May, AC Diaz, and all his teammates for making him so successful. Forward, Ryan. And finally, our last senior, number 40, center, Kyle Poe. Nicknamed Mad Dog, Kyle is escorted tonight by his parents, Tom and Susie Poe, also our booster treasures. Kyle is known for his tough physical demeanor and can change the tempo of a game quickly. Kyle has earned Most Improved, Most Inspirational, and was the JV team captain. Kyle is a scholar athlete with a 4.3 cumulative GPA and has been an elected ASB officer and is currently the athletics commissioner. Kyle is off to either USC, Northwestern, or BYU to pursue a career in broadcasting and would one day like to be on ESPN broadcasting sports. Kyle thanks the Heavenly Father, his family, and friends for all their support. Kyle's quote, "It is better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation." You are the real deal, Kyle. Center, Kyle Poe. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a special treat tonight dedicated to our parents. We have a Broadway star, 23-year-old Los Alamitos alumnus, Angel Harris. Once again, this is a Broadway singing star. She has her first gospel CD. Angel Harris.
When I think back on these times and the dreams we left behind, I'll be glad 'cause I was blessed to get to have you in my life. When I look back on these days, I'll look and see your face. You were right there for me. In my dreams, I'll always see you of the sky. In my heart, there'll always be a place for you for all my life. I'll keep a part of you with me, and everywhere I am, there you'll be. And everywhere I am, there you'll be. And you show me how it feels to feel the sky within my reach. And I always will remember all the strength you gave to me. Your love made me make it through. Oh, I owe so much to you. You were right there for me. In my dreams, I'll always see you soar above the sky. In my heart, there'll be a place. I love. I'll keep a part Congratulations.
This edition of LATV3's Game of the Week is brought to you by family and friends of the Los Alamitos Boys Basketball Booster Club, ABC Pool Supplies in Los Alamitos, Jack Haley's Complete Player Basketball Camps, Canvas by Caton in Huntington Beach, Masterpiece Cookies, O'Malley's in Seal Beach, Trent Shoring Company, F&M Bank in Seal Beach, Alamitos, Learning Achievement Center in Long Beach, Wachovia Securities in Seal Beach, your Southern California Lexus dealers, Hollywood Tans in Los Alamitos, Miller Children's Hospital of Long Beach, Next Generation Business Resources on the web, Polka Dot Party Store in Long Beach, State Farm Insurance in Seal Beach, and by Citibank of Seal Beach.
All right, welcome back to the game. Courtside announcer Scott Durzo just introducing the Marina lineup. Beginning with number 3, Mike Kenoshita, the leading three-point shooter in the league. Also playing at guard is number 10, Garrett James. Number 20, Bryce Oberon is a junior forward. Number 35, Troy Lewis is another junior forward. And number 45 is their big player, Sean Starkey, the senior forward, 6'5", 190 pounds. Now let's listen to the introduction for the Los Alamitos starting lineup.
19-4 overall. Our head coach is Coach Russ May in his 6th season and is assisted by Kerry Kutsky, Chris Chabin, and Eddie Quartermarsh. And now for our starting lineups on our senior night. At guard, 5'9", senior, number 1, Richard Merical. At guard, 6'5", senior, shooting guard, number 12, Landry Fields. At guard, 6'5", senior, number 32, Charles Hinkle. And at guard, 6'2", senior, number 15, Renzo Maggi. And at forward, 6'4", senior, number 40, Kyle Poe.
And there you have the starting lineup. Coach May
The referees
going
for
with an
tonight's
all-senior
game
lineup.
is
That's
Steve
tradition here at
Jarrett
Los
and Bruce
Alamitos.
McCallum.
Probably most of the other schools in the Orange County area, at least on senior night, if not the world. Griffins have a 19-4 overall record, 7-1 in league.
Well, two major milestones tonight for the Griffins. One is that they can cap a tie for the Sunset League Championship, and secondly, 20 wins. 20-win seasons are rare in high school basketball, and that's quite an accomplishment to Coach May and his staff.
Coach May, strangely enough, is just about the dean of Sunset League coaches. I remember when he first came to Los Al, and 6 years ago.
That's right.
With Eddie Quartermarsh, who's one of its assistant coaches. He was the captain on that team. Team started off, I think, like about 6 straight losses. They couldn't get off the schneid. They had the lead in a lot of them, and then pulled everything together, ended up winning the Sunset League, tying for the championship.
Well,
almost had a 20-win season that very first year after like 6 straight losses.
Well, Larry, as we see the teams line up for the tip-off, Marina is already in its defensive frame of mind with a defensive jump to have no one on the circle.
I think they thought Amberry and Corbin Moore were going to start. And there,
of course, they win the tip.
Starkey tips it back to Garrett James, point guard. He's being guarded by Richie Merical, who had some nice points in the game against Esperanza a week ago. But James takes it to the hoop, gives Marina the early lead.
A very nice move to start off the game by Garrett James.
There's Renzo Maggi, a guy who did not even play basketball until his freshman year in high school. He was a ranked tennis player. Wanted to play some ball, gave up the tennis circuit for a bit. There's Richard Merical with a miss. Didn't even draw iron on that one.
You know, I'm surprised that Marina coach, as soon as they got that defensive rebound, they started yelling, go, 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 as they want to play the up-tempo basketball game. And I just have to believe that's a recipe for disaster for Marina if they try to play up-tempo with this ball club.
Well, maybe they want to take advantage of it right now before the big guys get in.
Yeah, yeah.
Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to go back over to Marina.
We talked about their lack of depth before the game. And in fact, they have one less player that's on than it was what is on their roster. So they only have 9 players suited up for tonight's game. The 6'10 sophomore is out of the game. Not good.
Not good. A lot of hype, but not available to him. Landry Fields takes it to the hoop. A very, very nice shot by Fields, who's moved up to like 8th place in the all-time Griffin scoring list. There's Garrett James, turnaround jumper. Not the best advised shot in the world, but Merical with the ball. Gets away with a high dribble. It's kind of tough tip, though. There's Renzo Maggi. He makes his three-pointer. LaSalle out to a 5-2 lead.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not a regular starter knocking down his first shot from three-point land.
James needs to calm down. He's a freshman, 5'7" freshman guard.
And I think Coach Holmes is going to give him a chance to calm down right now with a little timeout.
Not often you see a freshman guard starting. Huntington Beach had a couple of good ones last year.
That's right. And Esperanza had a freshman guard that started about 5 years ago and has since graduated.
Somebody's asking me that question about any freshman ever started at LaSalle. I can't recall one. Going back to the list, I mean, it's a big school with a good basketball tradition. I can't recall a freshman ever starting here.
Did Landry play varsity as a freshman?
No, Landry was on JV.
He was on JV as a freshman.
And he didn't even start as a sophomore.
Right.
Problem is, you're often stepping into a team that won the Sunset League, so they have a lot of good returning players.
Just a little bit more competition talent-wise on this ball club.
Merical across to Maggi, who saves the ball from going out of bounds. Maggi takes it to the hoop. Nice little layup to Poe. Poe puts it up, misses it. Poe hustles, gets the rebound. Hinkle runs that one down. Across to Landry. Landry in the corner to Maggi. Nice skip pass to Merical. Merical takes it to the hoop. Won't go in. Hinkle with the rebound, goes off his hands. But apparently was off somebody in Marina's.
Well, these referees are fresh off the plane from Detroit, and they're here tonight to call this game for us.
The Super Bowl. Fields missing. James up the court to Kenosha. Can't get the handle. He kicks it back. Starkey way outside. Hits a three-pointer.
So, Larry, do you think that Starkey has the green light tonight?
Excuse me, that was Troy Lewis. I'm sorry. But I think Starkey has a green light every night. Starkey's number 45. Clinton Amberry making his first appearance, the 6'10" junior center / forward. He plays more of a forward position.
Yeah.
On offense, they often leave him outside at the top because he's such a good passer that leaves a lot of room open underneath for Landry Fields to operate.
Clint is that rare phenomenon of a very big man with excellent ball handling skills.
Very soft hands. There's Kenosha, double teamed. Kicks it back to Starkey. Starkey hasn't got a shot off yet. There it is to Troy Lewis. Kenosha forces one. Knocked away by Bryce Overend. But it went to Hinkle. Merical with the ball to Fields. Merical takes it in to Maggi. In and out.
And Marina's definitely in the up-tempo frame of mind. Little travel by the freshman. You know, Larry, so far we've seen Marina when they haven't had a drive by their point guard, Garrett James. We've seen them so far launch about 4 or 5 three-pointers, and that's pretty much been a Marina trademark for about the last 5 years. They have a green light from the outside pretty much any time they want. And they've been fairly successful. They've had some excellent shooters over the last few years.
Well, they had some great players a couple of years ago. They had the 6'5", 6'6" guys who could hit that three-pointer.
That's right.
Good pass inside to Amberry.
That's just an excellent execution right there. Excellent execution. On the zone, the low post just seals the wingman, and if you get it to the big man in the middle, he can drop off that pass for him.
7-5 Los Alamitos. 4:50 left in the first quarter. The Fields with a steal. He takes it to the hoop. Goes around Brian Kay rather easily. Kay ran in front of him. Fast-paced game. Troy Lewis with his second shot from the outside. Fields to the hoop again. Nice soft touch, but it doesn't go in. Maggi with the rebound, follows it up, can't get it in.
Landry Fields having a lot of offensive production, both on putbacks and taking it to the hole himself. Maggi showing a lot of up-tempo play and the ability to run up and down the court. It's a scoring machine for the defensive player.
Marina calls a timeout. 3:50 left in the first quarter. 13-8 lead for Los Alamitos. We're over here checking because the first two shots were hit by number 35, who we assumed was Troy Lewis, because that's what it says on the scoreboard.
Right.
And that's what it says on the Marina stat girl sheet. So it must be Troy Lewis.
It must be, but
they must have another weapon that we haven't heard about.
Yeah, and if Starkey is their leading scorer, he has not touched the ball in the first 4 minutes on the offensive side of the floor. He has not touched the ball in the first 4 minutes of the game. So maybe they're playing a stealth offensive game on us right now.
Or maybe Charles Hinkle's doing a great defensive job, which he's been doing over the course of the year. Friday night, he had to go up against T.J. Lippold, who bruised the Griffins the first time they played him. And Hinkle did a great job holding him to 4 points, I think, at least, with about 2 minutes to go in the game. Lippold may have had a free throw or so after that. All right, there's Brian Kay with the ball on top over to Kenosha. Outside shot, no good. Off Los Alamitos.
Tough break on that rebound. Ball just barely grazed the rim. Hard for Brian to get his hands up to cover that.
Kay inbounds the ball over to Kenosha. He's hit 55 three-pointers so far. Almost 56, but he didn't quite make it.
As you can see, it is green light from the three-point line and beyond. That last shot was about 5 feet beyond the three-point line.
Starkey misses his first shot. There's Kenosha again. No go. Hinkle with the rebound over to Merical. Merical to Landry. Landry with a three-pointer of his own.
Landry says, let me show you how this is done, gentlemen. And that's why Landry just this weekend signed a letter of intent to play, or made a verbal commitment to Stanford University.
Much to the dismay of Coach Lute Olson from Arizona, who was at the game last Friday night in the win over Edison. But Lute got a few other players to look at while he was here.
Yeah. And Lute signed one of the top-rated players in the nation with Chase Budinger from San Diego, Torrey Pines.
Nice pass from Hinkle over to Fields. Fields with another lay-in. Landry Fields with the lay-in. Going to go to the line. That's 9 points for Fields so far. Has a chance to make it 10.
Excellent form by Landry on that layup. Instead of trying to do some kind of scoop shot, he had his hand faced right to the basket, kissed it off the rim. Very nice form.
He was long on the free throw. Kenosha with the rebound at the Brian Kay, who pushes it up. Marina is, they are insistent to play up key. Starkey.
Hard to
no go. Fields gets the assist to Charles Hinkle. Hinkle with his second basket.
Well, you know, every coach knows his players best, but I just have to believe that playing this up-tempo game is serving right into the hands of the Griffins. Because what we've seen in the last 3 possessions for the Griffins have been fast break points, either on a 3-point shot on the fast break or 2 layups on the fast break with nobody covering the offensive player.
Maybe they want to get to the mercy rule really quickly so the clock doesn't stop. Pettis inside to Amberry. Amberry kicks over to Fields. Fields goes to the hoop. Gets his own rebound. Misses that. Amberry with the tip.
Well, that play was conducted above the rim by the Griffins. You had Landry and you had Amberry just controlling that ball above the rim on that play.
Starkey with the ball. Over to David Vo. Outside to Garrett James. The freshman makes his first three-pointer. Al having no problems with the press. Fields underneath the Hinkle. Hinkle left-hander, no good. Amberry misses. Starkey with the rebound. Stolen by Amberry. Amberry to Fields, and Fields lays it in.
Excellent play by Amberry, making the steal in the backcourt. Nice and clean pick.
12 points for Amberry in the first quarter. 24-11. Los Alamitos. James to Starkey. Marina's a team of Bill Lambiers, I think. Everybody's outside for the shot. Drive and kick it out. Fields lays it up. They have a blocking call. James tried to draw the foul. He's a little too far underneath to really get any position.
And let me tell you, for the freshman, nice play by the freshman Garrett James trying to draw the the charge. But I got to tell you, if there's one Griffin you don't want to stand in front of, it's Ryan Pettis on a fast break, because Ryan is a very solidly built athlete. You can tell he spent time in the weight rooms, and he's not exactly going to slow down for you.
Pettis makes it 27-14, still in the first quarter, 13-point lead. Rocky Rader is now in the game for Marina. Rader, a senior guard. Starkey with another three-pointer. Rader with the steal. Over to Garrett James, who misses. They have no hesitation. It's like watching a Rick Pitino team when he plays.
Loyola Marymount.
Yeah.
It's just,
per steamer.
you know, I don't know if they're going to set any records for makes, but they're going to certainly approach some records for attempts of three-pointers. And this is definitely their offense, because they're doing the running. They're pushing as aggressively as possible.
Tom Peabody out there, the human bruise.
I'd swear that Rocky Rader went down on the ground, stopped his dribble, and got back up on that play.
Yeah, but the score is 29-17 already in the first quarter, you know.
Hey, that's only 4 three-pointers.
That's true.
And at this rate, we got 29 seconds. They may take 4 three-pointers.
Yeah, I think you're right. James gets it into Starkey. Shot clock's down to 24 for Marina. That's the first time that's happened tonight. Starkey with the ball. They're working it down. 20 seconds in the quarter. James kicks it around. Troy Lewis. He's got his third three. Maggi to Amberry. Amberry with 2.
And Marina pushes right back up the floor.
And James off the board. So, 31-20 is the end of the first quarter. It's like, for Marina, I guess they got to be kind of happy. They didn't have a great percentage, but then they hit 3 or 4 at the end. And
yeah, well, you know, the first time these two teams met, the Griffins beat them by 44 points. And if the first quarter holds, they'll beat them by 44 points this time. Although it'll be a vastly entertaining game.
It will be.
I'd like to see a statistics on shots and makes for Marina in that half, because they certainly attempted many three-pointers, and they hit about 6 of them.
Well, the stat girls right now are getting, getting Gatorade and things like that because they're getting cramps from writing. Intravenous injections of saline solution.
You know, and it's interesting to hear that Sean Starkey is leading the league in three-point shots made. 3-point shots.
No, he's not. Kenosha is leading. Starkey is the leader in points.
Oh, Starkey's leader in points. All right.
Averaging around 20 points a game. Kenosha is the one who's hit 55 three-pointers.
All right.
But Lewis has hit 45, so there you go right there.
Well, so I think that both of those numbers are a byproduct of attempts taken as well, because I don't think I'd like to see their percentages.
And strangely enough, probably the best shooter in the league is Landry Fields, and he hadn't had to take that many three-pointers this year because, number one, he's improved his inside game so much in the way they run that offense with Amberry outside, leaving Fields.
There's Starkey again.
To operate. Starkey with another one. He's got a tray of threes. Lewis has a tray of threes. You know, Marina has 23 points.
I'm very surprised to learn that Starkey's made so many three-pointers and threed in this game tonight, is that his release on that shot is not especially quick. It's a rather slow release.
It's kind of jerky, too.
Yeah, I'm very surprised I'm guessing that a lot of his scoring is out of surprise, because I just don't think, if I'm guarding that man, that I think he can make it shooting the ball that way, but he's obviously shown that he can.
All right, Renzo Maggi going to the free throw line, trying to extend the Griffin lead to 10 points right now. Corbin Moore is in front of the scorer's bench, getting ready to make his first appearance, the 6'9" sophomore. Had a great game against Edison the other night, 13 points. Also, junior Cameron Jones is in. Jones moved into the starting lineup right after the first Edison loss, and LaSalle has not lost since then. He is Landry's cousin. He's a 6'3", 6'4", I guess, guard.
And we see Corbin Moore in for his first action. You mentioned he had a big game against Edison just the other night.
And Maggi converts too. It's 33-23, 10-point lead for Los Alamitos. Troy Lewis from outside, no hesitation. Long down-court pass from Amberry to Moore. Moore almost got on the board quickly, but the ball is knocked away by Kenosha.
Nice hustle back by the Marina Vikings. I'm wondering who's going to cover Corbin Moore, because nobody comes within shoulder length of him. Or shoulder height, I should say.
Amberry puts it up. makes it a 12-point lead for Los Alamitos. 35-23. 7 minutes to go in the first half. Kenosha over to Brian Kay. We got an illegal screen on number 35, Troy Lewis. The Marina lineup, we got Starkey, we have Lewis, we have Garrett James, and Bryce Overens coming back into the game. The 6'3 junior is giving Sean Starkey a breather.
We'll see a lot of movement in and out by Roger Holmes, get his players as fresh as they can be, given that he's got few players to work with.
There's Overen playing center
Goodness,
field.
that was at least 10 feet beyond the three-point line.
Moore with the rebound, knocked from behind by Kay. Up, but the foul's going to go against Troy Lewis. He quickly picks up 2. That's 16 fouls against Marina. Los Alamitos has 0. Of course, when you're shooting from three-point range, like the Marina team is doing, you don't have a chance to foul him.
Well, there you have Clint Amberry settling for a 16-foot jump shot from the free throw line, and I got to tell you, he's going to make about 9 out of 10 of those, and Marina simply has no answer for that defensively.
James working the ball inside. Little weave here.
I think that last shot had a few ashes from the fires on it when it came down.
Cameron Jones going to the hoop. He does that so well. That's the biggest difference between him and the other Griffin guards. They all can handle the ball very well, but Jones is a very strong player who can break a press and take it to the hole.
That's right, and he used his body beautifully on that play. He used his body to protect himself from the ball from the defender, and he laid it in nice and easy off the glass. You know, when you look at what does the Griffin program have coming up, and you see folks like Amber, you see folks like Cameron coming up for the next year. This is a solid program that Coach May has built here.
Oh, they're going to be strong for a few years. You got Corbin Moore is going to be here 2 more years.
Yep. You got Dylan Ratliff coming up from the JV next year, bring some offensive presence and some ball handling skills.
Dylan, the son of former Long Beach State great Ed Ratliff. Ed's one of the assistant coaches on the JV team this year. Has the best basketball resume of probably anybody at the school. Fields inside. It doesn't go. And now Kenosha can't get the handle on the ball.
And this should be an easy one. There you go.
And that was a dunk by Landry Fields, and Coach Roger Holmes wanted a tee on that.
The tee plea is the last refuge of coaches whose team have been embarrassed. That was a legitimate hang on the rim by Landry because there were 2 defensive players underneath his feet. And that's the only basis upon which you can hang on the rim in high school basketball.
I'm wondering if Fields was actually aware that those 2 guys were underneath him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was going to do that regardless.
Hinkle with the ball. Takes the pass from Amberry. Takes it to the hoop. Lost control. What was his left hand? On the inside. It's like a running back in football. Put that on the outside hand.
Absolutely.
Inside to Amberry.
And we have a Marina player. We have Bruce Overen, who is holding his contact in his left hand and shooting with his right hand.
Nothing will stop the Marina players from taking their three-pointer. Corbin Moore inside. I can't handle this pace, Dan. I just keep writing down points all the time. I'm telling you, this is Bryce Overen.
I think Trey's going to shoot that ball.
Oh, we almost had a three-pointer the traditional way for a second there, but it didn't fall, and looks like number 12, Rocky Raider, is going to go to the line. Jones commits the Griffins' second team foul in the half. And he makes the free throw. Cuts the lead to 14.
And Bruce Overen is going to come back to the sidelines, put his eyes in, lost the contact.
Raider missed the second one, runs down the rebound. Figures I got the rebound, I earned another shot. Doesn't go. Merical quickly up the court. Hinkle off the board.
A little showtime for the Griffins. and very nearly pulled off. It would have been quite spectacular had they done that. It's showtime here.
There's Starkey. Back to Lewis. Or to Philip Vo, or David Vo, excuse me.
You know, there's a propensity for high school players and young players all around to always want to block every shot, but on that layup, the chances that Vo was going to make that shot were slim and none. And you might want to just let him go ahead and take that shot. Get the rebound and push it back in the other direction. But that's easier said sitting here. When you're in the heat of action, you want to block everything. So I got to tell you, Larry, if we talked at midway through the second period that Marina would have scored 29 points, we'd have been a little concerned about the outcome of this game.
Yeah, it's like Los Al trying to get theirs per game average in the first half.
Yeah. Of course, you got to keep one thing in mind at all times when Marina's on the floor, and that is that they're only 5 3-pointers away from winning this game.
We laugh, but we have seen crazier things. Nice pass inside to Ryan Pettis. Assist goes to Landry Fields. 45-29. Sean Starkey outside. Rattles off the rim. Another assist going to here for Fields. And Charles slams it.
Well, you know, long shots, long 3-point shots often result in long rebounds, and long rebounds often result in wide open fast breaks for the defensive team. And in that case, we've seen a couple of those by the Griffins, and they're having fun here in the crowd tonight. It's senior night, and the seniors are having some fun, and Charles Hinkle just had a nice slam dunk. And we're going to break 50 before we get to the 2-minute mark here in the second period.
I think so. For those of you who are wondering what the high all-time score for the Griffins was, I think it's like around 113 points.
It's definitely in sight tonight.
Take a look at the most points scored in most points in the game. It was 113 against San Clemente in 1971-72.
We'll give it a look at halftime. I'm guessing that the Griffins will actually get closer to 60 points at halftime, which makes that 113 target very much within reach.
I mean, I don't think.
Although, as they start to play some players who don't get as much playing time as normal, that might reduce the scoring a bit. Although, keep in mind that Marina's going to be exhausted. What players they have out there will be exhausted by the fourth period, so it could be.
Plus, they aren't going to stop shooting. They aren't going to stop shooting.
Yeah, but they're going to need 9 slings because their arms are going to be so tired by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
I think at this point it's a matter of DNA or something. They're just genetically incapable of doing it. Merical with a move, takes it inside. Bounce pass to Hinkle. Hinkle puts it up. Hits the board. Pettis follows. We're at 49.
You know, the Griffins have such a height advantage and underneath the basket that you really can just pretty much throw up anything, and chances are they're going to get the rebound and put it back in.
Merical inside to Pettis. Pettis misses that one. It was close. Marina's doing their version of a mass substitution, sending 3 guys to the scorer's table. Outside shot, and we're going to have Fields with a breakaway. And we are at the half-century mark with still almost 3 minutes ago in this first half. 51-29, Los Alamitos. Rocky Raider had the ball knocked loose, but he recovered it. David Vo looking. Raider cuts around. He flings one up. No good. Hinkle with the rebound. Over to Pettis. Take your pick. 1 of 3 Griffins. Pettis going for the slam.
And Starkey said, "I'm here, fella." Nice take by Ryan Pettis. I like that aggressive behavior. His 2 teammates under the basket enjoyed the view as well.
The players on the bench enjoyed it. They're having a good time. Senior night, you got the adrenaline flowing.
I got to tell you, though, at some point, though, some Marina player is going to be a little upset about that, and is probably going to commit what we would call a hard foul.
Yeah.
And so you want to be careful about that.
Pettis with the free throw. It's off. All right, there he goes. Keeps going. Oh, he was almost backcourt right there. James Frisky little guy as he goes in the trees. Chance with the rebound. Kicks it over to Merical. Pettis, no good. I think the Griffins are getting tired by this pace. Hinkle puts it up, though.
Griffin's just playing very hard at all times, and I got to tell you, these Marina Vikings are playing extremely hard as well. There's no sign of quitting them yet.
All right, Michael Chance called for the foul by referee Bruce McAllen.
So what are your thoughts about this offensive strategy, Larry? For the Marina Vikings, I mean.
Well, you know, this is my NJB strategy when it had no height. I just tried to run.
Right.
And hope I got out ahead.
Yeah.
It's very tough to do against a team with the depth of Los Alamitos, you know?
Nice move around the basket by...
But they didn't do it this way the first game so much, and they lost by 44, so go to plan B.
Right.
53-31 is the score, minute 30 left in the first half. Larry Strother here with Professor Dan O'Connor, former Griffin basketball coach, assistant basketball coach, and full-time professor at Long Beach State. Hinkle
it
over
seems
to
to me
Merical.
like Marina's actually trying to intentionally foul. Or maybe they're just playing very aggressive defense, but it looked like they were trying to foul on that play.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out. I don't know. They hustle. I mean, these guys really hustle hard.
Yeah.
Merical on top to Hinkle. Hinkle inside to Pettis. Pettis can't make it fall. Bryce over in with the ball. Up to David Kay. Pettis with a steal. Over and right behind him. Pettis subjects himself to some humiliation, trying for the jam there.
Well, you know.
You'll hear about that one from his teammates.
That basket looks big when you're 5 feet away from it, but it looks awfully high when you get right up to it.
Maybe this is the Marina strategy. Take Los Al out of their game, and then they're going to hurt themselves, and then you put back in. Pettis comes out. Big smile on his face. He's greeted, though, by all fellow seniors on the bench. Kyle Poe comes into the game replacing him. Kenoshita, no good. David Kay runs down the rebound over to David Bell. Brian Kay makes the three-pointer. So right now we have 4 Griffins down the court and only 1 Marina person. Their press didn't work very well. Chance off the
Look
board.
at Mike Chance. Excellent feel around the basket for Mike Chance. Mike's planning to continue his basketball at Santa Ana College in this next fall.
Renzo Maggi called for the foul.
You know, Mike has been in the program, but hasn't had very much playing time. I think 2 years of junior college basketball where he can get a lot of playing time in. I think he actually has a chance to move on and play at a 4-year institution after 2 years at Santa Ana.
Oh, if you remember, well, I'm sure you remember him his very first year here when he's playing. You know, it's a guy, a total project because he'd never really played the game before. He learned it from scratch. Phil Cabrera making his first appearance of the year. He's been injured almost all season. Just now getting healthy. Phil was a great defensive player last year on the JVs. He's got to be real out of shape, that was my guess. Merical bringing it up. Nice pass inside the Chance, who goes up. Lays it in, and that will end the first half. Maybe not. Oh, close one for Kenoshita.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm a little disappointed we didn't get to 60, but we're at 57-34 at halftime.
All right. Well, we're going to be back with more action, we're sure.
Larry and I are going to go take some oxygen out.
All right.
In the medical room.
That's right. We'll talk to you in a minute. We'll be back with the second half.
This edition of LATV3's Game of the Week is brought to you by family and friends of the Los Alamitos Boys Basketball Booster Club, ABC Pool Supplies in Los Alamitos, Jack Haley's Complete Player Basketball Camps, Canvas by Caton in Huntington Beach, Masterpiece Cookies, O'Malley's in Seal Beach, Trent Shoring Company, F&M Bank in Seal Beach, Kanawha Lumber in Los Alamitos, Learning Achievement Center in Long Beach. Wachovia Securities in Seal Beach. Your Southern California Lexus dealers. Hollywood Tans in Los Alamitos. Miller Children's Hospital of Long Beach. Next Generation Business Resources on the web. Polka Dot Party Store in Long Beach. State Farm Insurance in Seal Beach. And by Citibank of Seal Beach.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. Protected the weak and defeated the strong. Shown courage and compassion. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
All right, welcome back to the second half of action here at Los Alamitos Gymnasium. The Griffins are leading 57-34. We're getting ready to start the second half. And Dan, we had quite a horse race going in that
Well, I was able to go into the Marina locker room during halftime, and their main offensive strategy is if you touch the ball and you're in the same area code as the gym, go ahead and launch it.
We loved their warm-ups. We're watching when they came back on. They didn't do one lay-in. Not one shot was inside the three-point line.
Every warm-up shot was taken from beyond the three-point arc.
All right, Amberry's going to inbound the ball right away. Landry Fields is short off the rim.
Not
Corbin
to
Moore.
be outdone.
Fields led all scorers in the first half. He had 17 points. Corbin Moore inside. Fields with another assist.
That was such a strong move by Corbin Moore. You'd love to see the sophomore making that kind of move aggressively towards the basket.
That's his fourth point in the game. He hadn't really shot much. He didn't start. They had let the seniors play a lot. Behind Fields, the Griffins had a lot of very balanced scoring. Charles Hinkle had 8 points. Renzo Maggi had 7. Clinton Amberry, 6'10 junior, had 8 points. And Ryan Pettis, 6'3 sophomore, or 6'3 senior, he had 7 points. Garrett James, a freshman from Marina, misses his first free throw.
It's interesting watching this Marina varsity because I watched the junior varsity game prior to this match, and it seemed to me that there were some players on the JV that could actually help this Marina varsity ball club.
Deals inside to Corbin Moore. Moore goes up strong and makes another one. That's his 6th point of the game.
That kind of play by Corbin Moore is going to result in a lot of interest in the next few years from some college scouts.
Troy Lewis from outside. Moore with the rebound. Cameron Jones to Landry, his cousin. Knocked away by Kenoshita. As I said, Mike Kenosha is the leading three-point shooter in the league. He has 55 going to this game. Followed closely by his teammate, Troy Lewis. Inside pass. Charles Hinkle, no go. Amberry made the nice pass inside. Hinkle a little fadeaway, couldn't sink it. Kenoshita. I don't care if they're guarded or not.
That would be a bad shot if he were 3 feet from the basket, but he was 23 feet from the basket. And Roger Holmes, with a slight bit of exasperation, calls a timeout within the first minute of the half.
What's he saying to his guys? What, you had an open shot from 28? Why didn't you shoot?
He's saying, if you're covered, only take the 22-foot shots, not the 24-foot shots. But Marina, you know, La Salle is only going to push the defense out so far. So if they did run some screens and if they just ran their three-point line motion offense, they should get some free looks. They just need to demonstrate a little bit more patience. And at the same time, if I'm Marina, I'm looking for little backdoor cuts. I'm looking for some fakes by the men on the perimeter because La Salle has pushed its defense out to the perimeter.
All right, Los Al's going to inbound the ball. Amberry underneath the basket, over the top to Cameron Jones, and he's off and running. Taking it to the hoop. Little fake, misses the shot. Had a nice look. Pulls it back. Good movement by Los Al until then. Garrett James pushes it up. Kenosha. He's dissuaded by the appearance of Moore and Amberry inside. Cameron Jones picks it up. Hinkle with the three-pointer. No go. Fields outside. Fields loses it.
Want to make sure if you're Coach Russ May, and it's interesting watching their offensive strategy coming out from the half, they're actually doing exactly what I think they should be doing, and that is trying to find the ball inside, pound it inside to the man in the middle, and take those open 2 to 5 foot shots. You don't want to get into a three-point shooting contest, although I think we could certainly hold our own in such a contest, but this is a good time to get some play out of those big men. Get Corbin Moore some action. I love the way he's taking the ball aggressively to the hole.
Jones tried to hit more on that one, but it's knocked away. Los immediately converts the inbound pass, though, as Amberry hits it. 63-34.
And it's early in the second half, but that was a tired play by Marina. They never got prepared for the inbounds pass, and Clint Amberry gets open for a 5-foot jumper in the middle of the key. He's going to make that shot pretty much every time he takes it. Marina didn't even have a hand in his face, so they were, fatigue is going to play a factor in it. Just as I say that, Coach Holmes brings in 4 new players.
Brian Kay is going to inbound the ball from Marina. Over to the freshman, Garrett James. The 5'7", 130-pound freshman. This is Kenosha. Kay. Good movement, but Landry Fields takes the ball away. Looks inside to Hinkle. Hinkle as Corbin Moore trails the play and gets another basket.
Nice passing by Landry Fields and
Charles Hinkle. Moore with his 8th point. There's Kenosha. That's his first 3 of the night by my calculations.
Let's see. Yes, that's right.
Rod Bay Lewis, a transfer from Poly, a junior transfer, 5'7".
Hot shooters from Marina have been Lewis and Starkey, who have 3 3-pointers apiece. Kenosha is feeling it.
65-40. Lewis finds Landry Fields up the court. 3-on-1 for Los Al. Actually a 4-on-1. Nice pass from Fields over to Hinkle. And just like that, it's back up to a 27-point lead. Kenosha coming up the pick. He's got range, that's for sure.
He does, but the 2 that he's made have been facing the basket, a set shot facing the basket, and you just would like to see them run the motion offense and maybe get some more looks of that nature.
Lewis inside finds Moore. Moore couldn't quite get a handle on it. Fields finds it, puts it up. Brian Kay outside, way short.
That shot's not even in your range, Larry.
Roger Holmes questioning something, a referee.
He wants a 3-second
Bruce
call
McAllen
against the Griffins because their men are spending a lot of time in the paint, but they're not necessarily.
Hinkle gets the 2nd missed dunk for the Griffins tonight. Actually, the 3rd. There's the 4th. Amberry with another long pass to Pettis. And Kay prevents Pettis from missing a dunk. .409 left in the 3rd quarter. 69-40 Los Alamitos.
I got to believe some handicappers at Los Alamitos Raceway are. This seems very much like it. We are off to the races with every rebound.
Think they're covering this game in the OTB area there?
Not that we're condoning such activity, but I'm thinking
yes. Pettis makes a free throw, giving Los Alamitos 70 points. He makes another one, giving him 71.
with Lewis and Starkey in the game, I anticipate that Marina will focus on the three-point shot.
Slight departure for their game plan. There's Rocky Raider, though. Amberry with another rebound. Amberry's going to have, and there's their 5th missed dunk.
I actually believe hanging on the rim knocked that ball out for Landry. Seems like the rim whipped up and knocked it out.
And Sean Starkey hits his 4th three of the game. He's leading all Marina scorers with 12 points. Fields inside. Nick Brucolari doesn't make it. Pettis missed a rebound. Ball's knocked out of bounds. Renzo Maggi replaces Landry Fields. If the Griffins could hit their dunks, they'd be
this would really be
a threat at the all-time record.
Yeah, I think that all-time record is going to be safe tonight. I don't anticipate that we'll see much more of Landry Fields tonight.
Maggi rims it. Kicks back long to Rocky Raider. Raider over to Troy Lewis. He's got the three-point stroke himself. Starkey with a rebound. That's his first two-pointer of the night. $14 points for Sean Starkey, leading scorer in the Sunset League. Amberry goes up strong. He's fouled by Starkey. That's the third foul on Starkey. Second team foul
for all you
second half.
For all you kids at home, let's watch Clint Amberry on his free throw technique. Keep that elbow in, point it towards the basket, follow through on the shot. And you want to have a routine. Every time you shoot a free throw, you want to do the same routine. Nice body motion, nice result.
73-45, Los Alamitos. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Bryce Overend with the ball to Rocky Raider, who's guarded by Rod Bay Lewis. Troy Lewis takes it to the hoop.
You know, I like Troy Lewis. I like him. I like his attitude on the floor. He's a junior for Marina. He's played tough defense all game long. He's shown that he can make the three-point shot.
Lewis chose to take the difficult pass. Los Alamitos has hit a cold streak. Missed a lot of easy shots the last few minutes. Not exactly a clinic that they're putting on right now.
This is garbage time basketball.
Renzo Maggi knocks it away. Has the quickest hands on the team. There's another one. Goes the conventional route. He wanted to dunk it, he lost it.
But he lucked out on the result because it still went in anyway.
Starkey from Temecula, no good. Maggi with the rebound. Lewis pushes the ball up the court. There's Brucolari. Nick with a three-pointer of his own. No good. Rocky Raider. Pace has slowed a little bit. Guys are all tired, but Lewis puts up a three-pointer.
That's Troy's 4th of the game.
He has 12 points. Raider with a steal, lays it up, makes the point. Rod Bay Lewis takes it into the trees of Marina. No good.
I think this is going up. You know, Marina makes another three-pointer, and we're down to a 20-point ball game. And they bring in a fresh set of troops with 4 substitutions. And the Griffins bring in some substitutions of their own with Craig Fisk.
Craig Fisk making an appearance. Richard Merical, Renzo Maggi, Nick Brucolari, and Michael Chance. And the coaches there had a very good point that he can't run the baseline after a
substitution.
Well, no, you can do it after a substitution. The ball was knocked off the leg of a player.
Right, it wasn't a point, it was a turnover. That's correct.
Actually, you can't do it after you can do it after substitution if it's timeout's called after the basket.
Right.
It shows how desperate for a conversation we are in this game. minutia of rules.
And the referees are contemplating whether to return the play back to the. Probably better just to move on, fellas.
Can't do anything about it now. This will slow up the game.
We're going to ask for clarification from Mike Holmgren here on this point because he's a #1 fan of referees of all sports these days.
It was a. It's one of those games at the Super Bowl that did have some poor calls. All right, they are going to correct the violation.
Larry, alert the media. Referees are reversing a call and admitting a mistake.
Went all the way down to the other court. I don't think you can do that by the rules. But
now, are they going to put time back on the clock?
That would be too logical. Inside, Kinoshita, guarded by Craig Fisk. There's Bryce Overend, guarded by Michael Chance. Overend goes to the hoop, draws the foul.
Bryce played football for the Marina Vikings. He was a wide receiver, but apparently had trouble. He was constantly falling down. It was an end-over-end problem.
I'm pulling out my drum machine right now to give you a rim shot.
Speaking of rim shots, a miss on the first free throw attempt.
Oh boy, we got the whole quarter left for Dan.
It's getting warm in here, folks. Oh, somebody stop me.
Good defense by Esperanza. They can cut this lead to under 20 with a another three-pointer.
Marina showing a lot of pep, a lot of fight in their game. And Richard Merical makes a good stop. He was pinned in the corner, call a timeout. Let's start this offensive possession all over again. 22-point lead by the Griffins as we approach the end of the third period.
41.9 seconds remaining. Certainly looks though like the Griffins are on their way to a win and clinching their 9th Sunset League title in 10 years.
This is one of those situations where there are more than a few parents in the stands right now saying, I want my kid to play, I want my kid to play. But you know, if you're Coach May, you got to say, well, I want your kid to play too, but I also want to maintain this distance between us and the defensive Marina Vikings.
Well, the starters were actually missing all the lay-ins and dunks, so I don't think... Craig Fisk in and out. Brucaleri with the follow. That's Brucaleri's first basket. Garrett James pushes up the court quickly. Brian Kay over to Mike Kinoshita. No good. Brucaleri.
Seen a lot of energy on the offensive and defensive boards by Brucaleri. It's nice to see.
Merical takes it coast to coast almost. No good.
And no sooner said than he follows up another shot. Nick Brucaleri's got about 5 rebounds already and is playing this time in this game.
Maggi steals the ball from outside. He nails a three-pointer at the buzzer. So in the final about 24 seconds, Los Alamitos puts together a run of 7 quick points and takes an 82-53 lead into the fourth quarter.
Good job, boys.
And just like that, the Griffins managed to push it up to 29 points with a nice little run in the last 30 seconds of the quarter.
They have an outside shot at the all-time record. I don't know if Russ May would want to go for it. It would certainly give us some tension and excitement in the last quarter.
Well, I mean, two things have to happen for the Griffins to pull off this scoring feat of scoring 30 points in this half. I mean, first of all, they have to give up trying to dunk it and just shoot regular layups. That has accounted for how many missed dunks have we seen?
At least 6, I can think of.
So that's at least 10 or 12 points that they could have added to the scoreboard so far. And then also there was about a 3-minute period there where they kind of got out of their game and played a little sloppy basketball. And if they run the offense and take the layups that they're going to be available to them off the long rebounds, they should be able to get up in the hundreds, in the low hundreds for sure.
Now, this is obviously not the starting lineup for Los Alamitos, but there's a lot of good players out there on the court.
Sure.
Merical,
and if you got
Maggi, and Chance get a lot of action. Brucaleri.
Brucaleri is getting a lot of rebounds and putbacks, and he's playing
They'll be
a tough
expecting
game.
him to play a lot next year. Hopefully he'll play better defense than that when he plays, but
Well, see, that's what we're finding our players. That's what I was talking about earlier. A lot of cups to the basket and back doors for Marina should be open because we are emphasizing the perimeter line, and of course we should because that's where they're shooting the ball from.
Maggi puts it up.
Maggi was
Actually hammered almost.
hit pretty hard on that shot. And he's pleading with the referee as he walks back to the defensive end of the court.
There's Troy Lewis. A little too close. He wanted to move back about another 3 inches. Chance with the rebound. Michael leading the fast break up the court. He wants it back. There's Craig Fisk. Brucalari inside. He's surrounded by 3 Vikings. Over to Merical. Merical to Fisk. Merical makes a move to the basket. He's going to be short. Deshaun Starkey with a set shot from outside. He's got his 5th 3 of the game.
I think defensively, the Griffins, although this game is a runaway, blowout, I think you have to know where Starkey is when they get onto the defensive half of the court. I mean, Starkey has now had 2 open shots last time.
Well, you know he's not underneath.
Exactly. So, I mean, why isn't his man picking him up a little further up at the end of the court?
Coaching staff from Marina calling Troy Lewis over, saying, why did you hesitate when you shot your 3? He did have an open look, and then he moved and took a shot that wasn't quite as good. Griffin's going to bring 3 players into the game.
Sean Starkey has fouled out of this game. And that's just not very good for the Vikings' chances. It's a nice game played by Sean Starkey.
Very quiet player. Doesn't make a lot of noise on the court, but he certainly can put the ball in the hoop. Has 17 points. Just a couple points under his league leading average of 19.8. Maggi misses the first free throw. Corbin Moore is checked back into the game for Los Alamitos, along with David Miller seeing his first action. 6'4" guard, junior guard. Number 34.
Maggie's has such amazing foot speed and quickness. He will annoy many a guard. He has all season long, and he will as they continue on into the playoffs. Little bumping of the heads there in the last play. Both
Jones knocks the ball away. Jones steals it. He goes to the hoop. Don't know if it's going to be counted if he made it. Yes, it would have counted, but he misses it, so now he just gets 2 shots out of it. Rocky Raider with a foul. That's the 5th for Marina. Los Alamitos has 3 team fouls. Cameron Jones has 2 free throws.
You know, Cameron Jones has had so many steals. I mean, his steals per minute played has to be up in the lead for the league this season because he's got such a great wingspan, and what's more important, he has great anticipation of where the guards are going to go, when they're going to pick up their dribble. As soon as they pick up their dribble, he cheats just a little bit more towards the passing lane and is able to steal a lot of passes and also to knock balls away from the offensive guards.
Jones makes 1 free throw, makes the lead 84-58. And there's Troy Lewis from outside. Corbin Moore with the rebound for Rod Bay Lewis. Lewis to David Miller. Can't get the handle on the ball. Tried to pass it before he had a handle on it. And there's Kenosha. No hesitation. Brucalari. Look down court, guys. You got Corbin Moore. Gets down the court pretty fast. Of course, he was already halfway down the court by the time they shot it, so he hadn't made it up the court.
If he has time to take 4 steps, he's going to be down the court.
86-58. A lot of fouls. That's stopping the clock. Mike Kinoshita going to go to the free throw line. You know, one of the pitfalls of a three-point strategy is you don't go to the line that much.
That's right. And when you do go, you got to make them. But look at this. I mean, these Vikings are down 27 points with 5 minutes to go, and they're fighting to get steals. They're fighting to play tough defense. Roger Holmes simply doesn't have very much talent on his team, and certainly not very much depth. But these players are playing hard for him, and they're, you know, playing their hearts out and playing with everything they've got in this game.
Rodney Lewis almost had the steal. Almost has another one. A little slide out here right now. Kenosha runs it down, goes to the hoop. Ah, why take the lane when he can get an outside shot? David Bowe misses it. Corbin Moore down the court. He got hit as he went up for it. He missed that one. Taking abuse from his players, teammates. 7 missed dunks for Los Al. Put that one in the record books. I'm sure it hadn't been touched before.
You know, somehow you just don't see those statistics in the annual yearbook.
All right, Kyle Poe checking back into the game. I have a feeling that's going to be the last we're going to see of Corbin Moore.
I'm thinking this is going up.
Oh, my goodness.
That's only 12 feet beyond the arc.
That was at least 29 feet. At least. It might have been 30 more or two.
And by the way, it was an air ball. But of course, a putback by Troy Lewis. Can you call that a putback, or that's just an assist?
Yeah, yes. 29-footer goes 26. I mean, that's not good. Rodney Lewis bringing the ball up. David Miller. Los Al not making the same crisp passes.
You know, as a coach, you want each of your players on the offensive end of the floor to get a certain understanding of their range, where they're able to make shots consistently. But apparently for these Marina players, they're in range as soon as they get off the bus. They're ready to shoot the ball.
Maybe they're using tonight's game as target practice just to find their range and for Thursday night when they finish their season. Rodney Lewis. Looks to me like Marina's going to finish the season with a game at Edison. Los Al will be playing at Fountain Valley.
Nice
Lewis
pass
inside.
by Rodney Lewis.
And Brucalera gets another basket, 89-61.
You know, I tell you what, as a coach, I'm looking at that play by Rodney Lewis, and I just love it because it was nice, unselfish play.
Troy Lewis way outside. Ball bounces way outside, retrieved by Marina. Stolen by Cameron Jones. Lewis brings the ball up the court. Poe over to Brucalera. Brucalera with the charge.
This is good experience for Brucalera. It's good experience for...
Nico Schmier gets into the game. He was injured much of the season, or early part. Schmier, the 6'3" junior forward. Parents Lee and Susie are co-presidents of the Griffin Basketball Booster Club. Done a great job.
Memo to the Griffin defenders: when Troy Lewis gets the ball, he's shooting it.
Right. Don't worry about the drive.
And I might add, as requested by his coach, but with Sean Starkey out of the game, Lewis is their most efficient scorer tonight.
And that's what Cameron Jones does so well. I mean, Marina doesn't have a lot of height, but he also does that against teams with height. Garrett James into the trees. No good. Jones leading the Griffin break up the court. Inside to Kyle Poe. No good. Jones gets the rebound. Poe got the rebound.
Nice
Good hustle.
effort. Nice effort by Kyle Poe, getting his own rebound.
Well, Los Al could have certainly broken 100 if they could hit their dunks tonight.
Well, I think they're going to get close to 100. They're not going to get that record of 113, but they'll certainly threaten 100. Kyle makes his free throw. We're only a couple of fast break layups away from the century mark, and you know these players want that. They want the century mark big time. And if I could put in a request, I'd like the century mark made with a made dunk.
Just to top it off?
Just to
I think we had one earlier, didn't we?
Just to get our dunk average closer to 10%. Craig Fisk with a wardrobe change in between free throws.
I didn't see. Did he have to change his headband? Different color? What?
No, he had a wristband on.
Oh.
There's a no bling rule in the CIF.
Was it white?
It was leather.
I don't want to go there. .255 left in the game. 92-61, Los Alamitos. There's Kenosha.
With a shot.
Kenosha shooting from Palos Verdes makes it.
You know, he made that one off the screen. If Kenosha had been able to make a couple of those earlier in the game, this would have only been a 20-point, 30-point blowout.
Garrett James, no-look pass. Rocky Raider. Rod Bay Lewis. Frisk will have no
Fisk wants
hesitation.
that shot.
Miller misses the inside shot. Worked hard for the rebound. Can't convert it. There's Kenosha.
Oh, Kenosha didn't even face the basket. He was actually open on that one.
That was number 22, Devin Ugland.
Nico Schmier with the rebound, bringing the ball up the floor.
Craig Fisk.
Craig is determined. He's going to get himself a three tonight.
That shot's not designed to win friends or influence coaches. But Troy Lewis. Whoa, right by us as I was marking.
Let me show somebody
Marking
some
the
technique
score?
here. There you go. Did you see that release for him?
You the man. You the man. Phil Cabrera into the game, replacing Kyle Poe. Garrett James. Airball City tonight. Between Los Al's missed dunks and Marina's airballs.
This game was sponsored by Nike tonight. A lot of air in the room. A lot of hot air from the announcers.
I think there are portions that John Wooden would not appreciate.
No.
Craig Fisk with the ball.
This is absolutely a game that friends and family can appreciate.
Over to Nico Schmier. He wants on the board. No good. Miller tries for the rebound. He does. Knocks it to Cabrera. Cabrera up.
There
Cabrera.
it is.
Philly. The Philly dog, Phil Cabrera.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Phil Cabrera is shooting about 1,000% for the season.
I think you could be right.
Why has that man not had more playing time and more shots attempted? Phil getting a lot of applause from his fans who've missed his ability to play because of his injury for the last few months.
One of my more reliable NJB scorekeepers. Just throwing lots of nice things out here, you know.
Well, I tell you what, Roger Holmes has gotten every bit out of his players tonight. These kids are working the floor. As I said before, they've only had 9 players. In comparison, the Griffins have about 15 on the floor suited up. They only have 9 players, and they've lost 1 to foul out. So They're working very hard on this game.
They hustle, that's for sure. They have like 5 players who get a lot of playing time. We're all under 5'10" or under. You're going up against Los Alamitos, who has 5 players who start who are 6'4" or over.
That's right.
So,
Coach May was kind enough to call off the Dogs about third way through the third period. Give some other players a little chance to play. They've maintained a respectable lead.
the Raider makes free throw. 94-72. It's only a 22-point lead. Craig Fisk, he might put it up from there. Cabrera with the assist. I didn't think I'd see that in this. Well, it was almost an assist. Rocky Raider inside. Miller with the rebound. Loses it to Garrett James. Inside to Troy Lewis. Lewis with his first 2-pointer of the evening. There's Craig Fisk. Look at Marina.
He's going to get that 3.
Marina just does not get. They sent 3 guys running at him with only 12 seconds left in the game.
Nico Schmier.
Working the clock down. And that's going to do it. It's going to end up at 94-74.
Nice
Los
play.
Alamitos clinches a tie for the Sunset League.
Nice play by Nico Schmier.
Well, Dan, it's been an interesting game. All right, we're going to come back in just a minute with an interview. We'll choose a player out of this morass of missed dunks and missed 3-pointers and lots of running. Final score tonight, 94-74.
Game of the Week is brought to you by family and friends of the Los Alamitos Boys Basketball Booster Club. ABC Pool Supplies in Los Alamitos. Jack Haley's Complete Player Basketball Camps. Canvas by Caton in Huntington Beach. Masterpiece Cookies. O'Malley's in Seal Beach. Trent Shoring Company. F&M Bank in Seal Beach. Yanal Lumber in Los Alamitos. Learning Achievement Center in Long Beach. Wachovia Securities in Seal Beach. Your Southern California Lexus dealers. Hollywood Tans in Los Alamitos. Miller Children's Hospital of Long Beach. Next Generation Business Resources on the web. Polka Dot Party Store in Long Beach. State Farm Insurance in Seal Beach. And by Citibank of Seal Beach.
The time is coming. There's no escape from the day you retire. And will you be ready financially?
Are you ready, dear?
You still can be, with investments like an IRA or a retirement plan at work. It's never too late. But start now, because if you wait,
You're making a grave mistake.
you may wind up working forever. Saving for your financial future doesn't have to be a nightmare. Choose to save.
At Volunteers of America, we don't just give kids a way to stay off the streets. We give them the tools they need to reach their full potential. We don't just help the elderly receive needed care. We help them live life to the fullest. We don't just provide food for the homeless. We provide job training and placement so they can buy groceries. You can support the programs that are working in your community. Contact Volunteers of America today.
Well, the Griffins have just beaten Marina 94-74, clinched a tie for the Sunset League Championship. One of the guys playing a big part in their championship run this year has been Clinton Amberry. He had 12 points tonight, had a lot of assists that were not converted by a lot of people who missed a lot of dunks tonight, but good game overall. So how do you like being a Griffin now? You come over from Ocean View, and it's been pretty easy adjustment, or what?
I like it a lot. I got real lucky to the school I came to. I wasn't really sure how good they were going to be and how good of an experience it would be, but I really enjoyed myself.
Tonight's game, I mean, you guys beat them by 40 points the first time. I mean, the trick is guys, watch out here. Okay, guys, let's be a little careful there. Okay, Toby Turpin, the former Griffin All-League linebacker, just running me over here. But you came over against these guys. They had a 40-point lead the first time. What's that like when you had to play them tonight? Were you serious about it or what?
Well, it helped that it was senior night because everyone wanted to come out and play hard and leave a good mark on their career here. It is kind of hard to come out and like play tough and play strong the whole time, but you just gotta do for 32 minutes.
You know, Clint, Larry alluded to it earlier tonight. One of the ways that you distinguished yourself tonight was by not missing a dunk on the floor. Tell us about the guys. I think we counted 7 missed dunks tonight. Tell us about the kind of grief that the guys on the bench were giving each other about that.
Well, I think they feel.
He's dominant right here. He's dominant.
Stay here.
I think they feel pretty embarrassed, but they probably think it's better to try and miss than not try at all.
Yeah. Okay, well, you're heading into the playoffs. The team has great chemistry as we go into the finale of the season. You got Fountain Valley on Friday, and then playoffs to come next week. Tell us about how you plan to prepare for that coming up.
Well, it's like an all-new start, and we just gotta come out 100% and like put everything behind us that's already happened, because none of it really has any importance.
We're joined here by Griffin coach Russ May. Now you've had like 3-4 years in a row of team with not a lot of height. Now all of a sudden you have a ton of height. You got a great player here in Clinton.
Well, he's obviously fantastic. We'd love to have him. He's the best player to coach. And you know what? It all comes at once. We didn't have anybody over 6'6" for a while. Now we got 4 or 5 of them. So it's really fun. It allows me to do some things that I haven't done in a while. And with guys as talented as this, my goal this year was not to overcoach and just let them play. And early on in the season, I probably did a little bit of that, but now I'm just letting them go, and these guys are going to carry us wherever we want to go.
Did you know he was as good a passer? That's the thing that I'm amazed by most. I mean, how good of a passer are you? Putting Clint on top a lot and hitting Corbin down low?
He's just a multi-skilled guy. He could play point guard if I let him, and I know he wants to. And someday we'll get there, and maybe even the 3 guard, and that's where he could play anywhere. A basketball player can play anything, and he's got the skills, the talent, and the mentality to do that. And he's made everybody better. He's, we call him Luke Walton because he can get a triple-double. Remember Luke from those old Arizona days, and that's his goal every night: get a triple-double. And as soon as we get some guys to dump him the ball down low, I think he'll get 20-20. So that's our goal, is kind of work on that and find ways to get him the ball. And he doesn't have to distribute all the time. So that's kind of what we're working on.
You got to play Fountain Valley, obviously, but you've clinched a tie already for the championship.
Yes.
So you're obviously in the playoffs. You're ranked number 2 currently in the coaches poll for Division I AA. Are you looking forward to the playoffs right now? Are you doing scouting? What are you doing?
We're looking forward to it, Clint? Yeah, we're looking forward to it. The guys feel that their season starts Friday. That's when the season starts for these guys, and this is what they want. They want to do something special, and let's see what happens.
Coach, congratulations on a 20-win season. You and your assistants are due a lot of credit. But more importantly, you've really built a program here at La Salle in the last 6 years. Tell us about the importance for the community as a whole of building a basketball program.
Well, number one, it couldn't do without the community itself. These people are willing to support, and I feel that my job is to give them the best product, treat their kids with respect and love, and give them as much coaching as I can give them, and put them in a situation where they can be successful. So if I can do that, the people have responded, and these guys have just given me everything they've got, so I'm proud of that.
Well, you've certainly done that. You've come here 6 years, 5 championships. This is the 9th championship in 10 years for Los Alamitos. We got another one this year. One more game to go at Fountain Valley, and the playoffs start. Get the people down here for the playoffs, which will start in a week, I guess a week and a half or whatever. Anyway, we have to go for now. Our time's running out. Thanks a lot, Russ. Thanks, Clinton, for stopping by. Dan, as always, another pleasure being with you. Final score, 94-74. Los Alamitos defeats Marina tonight. Good night.